بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أعزائي طلاب مدارس المناهج الأهلية الصف الأول الثانوي في درس جديد من دروس التعلم عن بعد في مادة اللغة الإنجليزية. Our lesson today is 4D Grammar, page 55. Our grammar today is about conditional sentences type 2. If you remember, we studied conditional sentences type 1 on Module 2, page 23, the grammar section, in lesson 2b. In conditional 1, we studied if plus present, and we used in the second part of the sentence will, may, might, must. In the first conditional, we said that if is used to talk about something which may happen in the future or will happen in the future. For example, when we say, if you played well, you will win the match. If you go now, you will or you may meet your friends. If you go, we have present after if. If we go now, we will meet our friends. Meet in here with will. Okay? But now we will go to conditional sentences type 2. Conditional sentences type 2, we use conditional sentences type 2 for a real or imaginary situation, موقف خيالي, which will not happen, which won't happen. It's an imaginary situation, which are unlikely or impossible to happen in the present or in the future. Now let's go to the form of conditional 2 or type 2 of if. If clause, the first part is called if clause, and the second part main clause or the main clause. If I start with if, I use past simple tense, not present as in conditional 1. But here I use past simple, verb 2, verb plus ed, like played, watched, cooked, and so on. Or the regular verbs like wrote from write, got from get, and so on. The second part is the main clause. In the main clause, I can use would or could and the base verb. Also, I can switch between the main clause and if clause. I can start with if clause. Also, I can start with the main clause. If I started with the main clause, I use would after the subject here. I use would or could and the base verb. When I say the base verb here, I talk about the verb without any addition, like here, visit. I didn't say visiting or visits or visited. I use the verb 1 without any addition to it. Would or could plus base verb, and then I use if plus past simple tense. If I start with if and the past simple if clause, I use comma here between the two parts between the if clause and the main clause. I use a comma here, but if I started with the main clause, I don't use comma because I link or I use if between the two parts. For example, this is an example. If I went, here I used if plus went. If I went out with my dad, what I would visit my uncle. Okay, here I have two parts. The first part is if clause, if plus the verb in the past simple tense, and here I use the would plus base verb. Here I can switch between the two parts as I said before. I can start with I would visit my uncle, like here. I would visit my uncle if I went out with my dad. Here is an imaginary situation. He didn't go out and he didn't visit his uncle, but he talks about an imaginary situation. if I went إذا كنت رحت إذا كنت ذهبت مع الوالد كنت زرت عمي, but he didn't go and he didn't visit his uncle. Look here. Here I have another example. If I had the money, I would buy a car. If I had here is past simple tense, like here, past simple tense. Look here, I would buy. Also, I can use here, instead of would, I can use could. I would buy, I could buy a car. But here, he is just imagining. He imagines that he would buy a car, but he really doesn't have any money or doesn't have enough money to buy a car, but just he is imagining. يتخيل الموقف لو كان معي. If I had money or the money, I would buy or I could buy a car. Also, I can say I would buy a car. I can start with I would or could buy a car as a main clause. I can start with the main clause like this. I would buy a car if I had the money. This is the main clause using would or could, and the base verb, verb 1 without any addition. Here I use the if clause. Look here. Here I used a comma. Don't forget that you use a comma between. If you start with if we start with if clause, I use a comma. But if I used if in the middle and I started with the main clause, I don't use a comma here. Here I use this for unreal or imaginary situation. Okay? In conditional sentences, type 2, I can use where. Where here is often used instead of بدلا من was in the if clause. Like here, if I were, what? If I were, it's supposed to use was here instead of where. I was, he was, she was, it was, singular noun like Omar was. But here in this clause, I used if I were because I'm talking about an imaginary situation, موقف خيالي. If I were older, but really I'm not old enough to do this main clause. If I were older, I could take driving lessons, but I'm not old enough to have the or to take the driving lessons. It's an imaginary situation. Can I start with I could? Yes, you can start with I could. The main clause, you can say I could take driving lessons if I were older, but we can't use or we don't use a comma if I started with the main clause. If I start with I could take driving lessons if I were older without a comma. This is an imaginary situation. We use where with all personal pronouns. Personal pronouns here like he, I, she, it, and so on, or singular noun. Look at this example. If I were you, if I were you, here in this situation, I'm talking about an opinion or an advice. If I want to give advice, if I want to advise someone, I use if I were you. If I were you, لو كنت مكانك, and this is an imaginary situation. I want to be in your situation and you want to be in my situation, but just imagining the situation, try to talk about advice. If I were you, I would take sorry, I would take it easy. This is an opinion. Okay, he is in a situation and he doesn't deal with in a good way in this situation. So I advise him. If I were you, I would take it easy. This is to express an opinion or to give advice. يعطي نصيحة أو رأي. If I were you. Look at these examples. These examples for more illustration. Number one, if I remembered here past simple tense. لو تذكرت, if I remembered your phone number, I would call you. But really, I didn't remember and I didn't call you. Also here, I can start with I would call you if I remembered your phone number. Number two, you would have. Here I started with if clause or main clause. Yeah, you are right. I started with the main clause. You would have a lot of fun if you came to the party. Also, I can say, if you came to the party, you would have a lot of fun. Number three, if they didn't play well, they couldn't win the final match. Here I started with if clause, so I used a comma here. Here I started with the main clause, so I didn't use a comma here. Number four, if I were a rich man, I would buy a home like a palace. Okay, but here, look here. If I were, I used the verb to be here. I didn't use was, but if I were a rich man, because I'm not a rich man, but I'm just imagining that if I were a rich man, لو كنت غني, I would buy, كنت اشتريت a home like a palace مثل القصر. If I were you, I would study hard to be a doctor. Okay? In this sentence, this is advice for someone. Okay? If I were you, I would study hard to be a doctor. I would study hard to be a doctor if I were you, and so on. Is it easy? Now we come to the second part, wishes. Wishes here, الأمنيات. We use to express wishes, we use wish plus past simple tense, after which I use past simple tense. I use this expression to talk about wish, wish plus past simple tense to talk about a present situation which we would like to be different. I want, I need, I like if the situation is different from the present one, from the present situation. كنت أتمنى إن الموقف يكون غير عشان أسوي شيء غير. I wish. To express this wish, I use the verb wish plus past simple tense, verb to. Like in this example, I wish I didn't have to take any more exams. Number two, he wishes. Here I used wishes, not wish like here, because with he, she, it, singular noun, this is present simple tense. I add s or es or ies to the verb. Here, wish, we use wish instead of wishes instead of wish because he, and this is present simple tense. He wishes, she wishes, it wishes, Muhammad wishes. Okay, he wishes he had the money to buy a car. Look here, wish, we use past simple tense. Wishes he had past simple tense. I wish I were tall, but really I'm not tall. I'm short, but I wish I were tall. أتمنى أن أكون طويل, but I'm not tall, okay? Just a wish, okay? I use wish with past simple tense to express that I want a different situation, a different state, something different from the present one which I really have. I wish I wish I were rich. أتمنى لو كنت غني. I wish I were rich. I wish I spoke French, but really I can't speak French, but I wish I spoke French. Okay, look here. The second part of wish here, I can use wish plus could and base verb. Base verb, as we said before, verb 1 without addition, without s, without ing, without ed, without nothing, just the verb like go, play, study, help, and so on. I use this form to talk about what or to express what, to express regret. عبر عن الندم, to express regret about something we can't do at present, عن موقف كان المفروض اسوي غير ولكن ما سويت غير. So I use wish plus could and base verb. Look at this example. I wish I could help you, but really I didn't help you. But I wish, كنت أتمنى إن أنا أساعدك لكن ما ساعدتك. I wish I could help you. He wishes he could go out with his friends. Okay, with his friends. Okay, go home. He wishes that, but he didn't go out with friends. I wish I could travel with my dad, but really I didn't travel with my dad. I wish I could. Okay? Now, let's go to the practice. Your student book 55. Okay? Practice. Complete the dialogue with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. To be. I have a history project. Project here, like a school assignment that may have or may need some research, maybe in the internet or maybe from books. Okay? What should I do? If I space BU, here use verb be. If I were you, here is an advice. I space go down. Here I used if plus verb to or past simple tense. I would go down to the library. I did that. I went to the library. But I want some more information. I wish I used have an internet connection. This is her situation that she doesn't have internet connection. So she wishes if she, yes, past simple, had. I wish I had an internet connection, then I'd be able to find lots of things to write about, but she doesn't have internet connection. Doesn't Jane here is a relative or a friend for. If Jane or doesn't Jane have an internet connection? No, unfortunately. She doesn't. If she use have in the past form is had. If she had one, I be use be had but simple and this is the main form. I use the base verb of be with what. I would be at her place. I wish I space help you use can. Here I wish I could, the best symbol of can. Okay, now we will have some more extra exercise on the grammar which we studied. Number one, if I had Kelly's number, I space her. Will call, would call, called. As we studied, when I use if and past simple tense, this is conditional type 2. Had, here past simple. So I use would or could. The right answer is, okay, the right answer is would call. Number two, we space the match if it didn't rain heavily. If it didn't rain heavily, we could play, played, can play. Here we started with the main clause, not if clause. If clause is here in the second part of the sentence. Okay, if it didn't, past simple, so I use could or would. The right answer is we could play. Number three, if I space, I wouldn't take the bus every day. If I, and this is the main part, look at this, look at the main part here, I use would or could. In the negative form, I use couldn't or wouldn't, okay? Here, if I space, I wouldn't take. Wouldn't take if plus past simple tense or past form of the verb. The right answer is drove, okay? Number four, I wish. We now come to wish. Here I'm talking about a situation which I want to have it in a different way. I wish I space how to cook, but really I can't cook. I don't know how to cook. So I wish I, that's simple. Yes, you are right. So I use new. Okay. Number five. She wishes. Here I used s or es after wish because the singular pronoun here or the singular personal pronoun she. He wishes, she wishes, it wishes, and so on. She wishes, she. The right answer is, where, or could. The right answer is where. She wishes she were tall, but really she isn't tall. I wish I space the president of the country. I I wish I could meet or can meet. As we said, I use after wish past simple tense or could plus base verb or the main verb. So the right answer here is could meet. I wish I could meet. And these are some extra exercises which I ask you to do, and I'll discuss or we will discuss them together on Zoom when we meet today, inshallah. Do it as a homework, and I'll have the answers from you on Zoom this evening. بهذا أعزائي طلاب مدارس المناهج الأهلية نكون قد أنهينا معكم شرح درسنا Grammar 4D، ونسعد باستقبال أسئلتكم واستفساراتكم عبر القنوات الرسمية في جروبات الواتساب والتليجرام. تعليمنا مستمر بهمتكم. دمتم بخير، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله